There's a lot of theories about what the belief of the meaning of life is. This is my belief personally. It's going to be a long, drawn out process of me basically telling the story of life, the meaning of life. I personally don't believe God is a being. I believe he's an energy of the progression of life itself. And aliens, extraterrestrial beings, actually intervened a lot of different times throughout human history. That's why they're pretty much instruments of the progression of life. You see, it's based on biblical knowledge that the world is this way because some idiot ate an apple out of a tree. It's pretty ridiculous that the world's this way just because some idiot ate an apple out of a tree, but it's pretty ridiculous that the world is this way, so I guess it's suiting. But when that idiot ate the tree, Adam and Eve, yes, I was forced to memorize the Bible for a year straight. I was homeless at the time, and a roommate that took me in off the streets was pretty much like a walking Bible. Everything he said, thought of, pretty much everything he ever said was quoting the Bible. He was a Christian since he was 6. The guy was 65 years old. He was a Christian for almost 60 years. And he was just like a walking Bible, man. All day long he would speak that Bible. I just couldn't say anything to him without him being able to respond properly, quoting the Bible. It was crazy. But subconsciously, when I processed everything he was saying, because it was just so much information he would give me on a daily basis, minute for minute, because all he spoke was the Bible. So I subconsciously memorized everything he said. And I morally became the Bible. But yes, he pretty much spoke everything of the Bible, and every time we spoke, he would respond everything properly to what I was saying, quoting the Bible. I don't think there's many pastors that have had better training than that. Literally for over a year, all day, every day, living in a room with this guy that took me in off the streets, so I was kind of obligated to listen. It was crazy, and he eventually died of a heart attack in his sleep. And yes, and he was 66. I know where he's going. Well, anyway, yes. I believe God is an energy, and that extraterrestrial beings don't conflict with my personal belief of God. I believe he's the energy of the progression of life itself. And aliens are like a tool that he uses that supports the progression of life. That's why life keeps moving forward. Like, the problem with the theory of Charles Darwin, I just discredited his theory with my theory. I think so, because there's a lot of holes in the theory of Charles Darwin's belief in the theory of evolution. One hole, for example, is it only explains how the first life on started. It doesn't explain how the first life was made. That's just a hole I could think of, and I'm just a schizophrenic telling the story of life, my personal belief in the meaning of life. So what do I know, right? But anyway, yeah, I could have just said Charles Darwin. I personally believe God is an energy itself. You know how good versus evil is all around us? Good, God, pretty much supports the progression of life where evil tries to destroy it entirely. Maybe God is just an energy itself progressing life forward. What would have Charles Darwin said to that? I wish I knew, but what do I know? I'm just some crazy schizophrenic who didn't graduate from high school telling off the theory of evolution by a world-known genius in history. But that's the thing, I actually memorized the quotes of, I pretty much, like when Einstein spoke, for example, he would like bewilder people. Like everybody would be like astounded when he spoke and they wouldn't understand him. I memorized everything Einstein said, along with a lot of other brilliant minds in human history like Edgar Allan Poe, William Shakespeare. Thou truth and beauty be to this urn, thy shall repair, factor either true or fair. For these dead birds shall sigh a prayer. My mind is altering, alterations, chemicals in my mind. When alteration finds our hearts forever bonds. Love is blind, doth spoketh too much. Sleep those little slices of death, how I loathe them, pondering upon the hall, weak and wearily, from pondering drearily. You have feet in your shoes, and brains in your head. You can steer yourself in any direction you choose. The fox is folding infinite socks. The way I am is like Sam I am. Let's see, infinite knowledge of imagination. With infinite knowledge of imagination, the possibilities are endlessly. Imagination is more important than knowledge. Life without examination is not worth living. Showing off is a fool's idea of glory. The past helps us predict the future. Thou who lives by the sword shall die by the sword. Thou who humbles himself shall be exalted. Thou who exalts himself shall be humbled. Thou who have not committed sin, then cast a stone, for thou shalt also not leave the fruit alone. Cure leprosy, heal the blind, turn water into wine. I just quoted, thou victor shall never be asked if thou told the truth. History is written by the victor. If you tell a big enough lie and tell it frequently enough, eventually everybody will believe it. I memorized quotes from, I basically memorized all that was documented of what Einstein said, Hitler said, Napoleon said, Dr. Seuss said, William Shakespeare, Edgar Allan Poe, Eminem, and many other brilliant minds of human history. And I spoke them in rhymes mixed in my own rhymes. People don't catch all the content. I have so many just quotes from random brilliant minds in history, but I mixed in my own rhymes. And I spit orange rhyming orange repeatedly off the top of me by adding syllables to the word orange, can't you see? And I made all kinds of syllables and mixed tongue twisters a lot of times and just mixed them all together. I would randomly add lines from Eminem, The Way I Am, mixed with something from Shakespeare. I've freaking said things from Socrates, and I mixed them in my own rhymes. People don't catch all the content. But that's the thing, most of the most brilliant minds in human history, all of their quotes and their documentation were spoken in rhymes. And I memorized all these different rhymes and mixed them with my own rhymes. Because like I said, my mind is like a computer. When I listen to lyrics, I pick them apart and automatically rearrange them in my head and think of different lyrics. That's why I can never listen to all my own music, because when I start doing that, I'm automatically rearranging all the lyrics that are coming at me like crazy, and rearranging them and making new lyrics. That's why I don't really. That's the thing. The lyrics just come at me like crazy when I listen to my own. A lot of different other artists, they seem to come at me slower with their lyrics that I'm picking apart. And I've noticed I'm a better lyricist than a lot of people that I've heard on the radio and the computer and other places. I've noticed I'm a lot better of a lyricist. How could you not like Winnie the Pooh? He is always so nice to you. I do what I'm told. What would you like me to do? Such a nice dude is Winnie the Pooh. Winnie the Pooh was chillin' smoking a doobie with Shaggy and Scooby-Doo. Winnie the Pooh just wants to be nice to you. Winnie the Pooh don't want no beef with you. Winnie the Pooh just trying to get through. How could you not like Winnie the Pooh? I do what I'm told. What would you like me to do? Chillin' smoking a doobie with Shaggy and Scooby-Doo, Scrappy too. Well, anyway, like I was saying before, it's basically like endless war between good versus evil. God is basically trying to progress the existence of life, or Satan is trying to destroy it. Pretty much all of our thoughts, everything all around us, is good versus evil. What a demon really is, in my personal belief, is a negative aspect of life itself. They're basically their own torment they endure. They pop in and out and they inflict their own torment they endure all the time. They're basically just a negative aspect of life itself. When we're here, we have relief from the negative aspects of life. There's good spirits. A good spirit is a good aspect of life. And I believe our own thoughts entirely are spiritual beings that have no connection. Let me start over. Sometimes I stutter, sorry. What I believe is that all spirits are basically our own thoughts, an aspect of life, both good or bad. And there are thoughts, and basically everything all around us advertised to us. And here there's relief from the negative aspects of life. There's good in this world. But when you die, whatever side you choose in your heart, whether good or evil, if you choose the side of evil and you go to hell, you're basically underneath the full mercy of the negative aspects of life. Like here, you're not going to the bathroom all the time. Here, you're not sick all the time. Here, you're not in pain all the time. The demons only have partial control here. You're not underneath their full mercy here. But if you die and go to hell, you're underneath the full mercy of the negative aspects of life. Like Moloch, the demon of abomination and bodily function. That's why we have to go to the bathroom. Here, he only has partial control. Down there, he'll have full control. Just imagine being underneath the full mercy of pain, sickness, and bodily function. The demons are the pissing and shitting to the angels eating and drinking. And they're basically everything in our life. These spirits, these aspects of our life. And when they can come to Earth randomly and take on any form they choose, and so can the aliens. I believe there's basically a war of good and bad aliens. Bad aliens that intervene to try to destroy life, that support the demons. Good aliens that try to intervene to help them. I believe the extraterrestrial beings are just caught in the middle of the spiritual warfare. And they've intervened a lot of times during our history. Like, I believe that the dinosaurs were wiped out, the old world and new world. When Adam and Eve were casted away from the kingdom of heaven, God casted them out and destroyed the dinosaurs and restarted the world. Like, according to biblical knowledge, somebody understood the knowledge of good and evil and were casted out from eating the forbidden fruit of the tree, according to the Bible. And yes, the world was restarted over again. Because God was casting out, because God was destroying the dinosaurs to make way for Adam and Eve in the new world and the old world. And basically all of our life, all of our history in life between good guy and bad guy, our own thoughts, everything. And the demons, the aliens, and the angels can come in any form they choose and intervene if they want. But it's rare when they do. We could have met angels, aliens. They actually made a joke in Third Rock from the Sun of aliens coming to Earth in human form. They made a big joke about it from Third Rock from the Sun, but I believe that's actually true shit. The aliens have intervened and took on forms they chose in human history to help us or to prevent us from going forward. That's what the demons do. Evil does. They want to prevent us from going forward, where good wants to keep us going forward. And the aliens are pretty much caught in the middle of it, I believe. Like when the aliens helped the Egyptians build the pyramids. And I believe this whole war that's been going on since the world restarted is going to end up restarting again. It's going to end up restarting again soon. I think this war that's been going on between good versus evil is basically going to lead to our self-destruction. Let's face it. Just look for your news app, man. This whole world everything's gotten so out of whack. I don't think anybody can sort it out. I don't care who they are. I don't think anybody can sort it out. We've gotten to a point where I don't think we can fix ourselves, so it's inevitable. It's going to lead to our self-destruction, and that's when I believe the next time the world restarts again like it did with the dinosaurs is coming soon. Something catastrophic's going to happen, but I think it's going to be our own self-destruction. We've gotten to a point where we can't fix each other, where we can't fix ourselves. It's just a fact of human nature. We end up self-destructing. I believe it's going to happen again. And we're going to basically blow ourselves up or whatever catastrophe happens and kill ourselves off. And that's when the world's going to restart and revive again. And that's when innocence is going to have a chance again. Let's face it, we've destroyed innocence. There is no such thing as innocence. When an innocent life is basically something that first came to Earth, every innocent life that came to this Earth was destroyed. It was basically messed up by everything around them. Innocence was messed up everywhere by everyone around them. I think we get dumber as we get older because we lose our innocence. We come here innocent and then we get messed up by all the things around us. And I believe when the world restarts again, innocence will be revived. And I believe we should stop prolonging it because there's going to be so much suffering in the process. Like my personal belief of the rapture. I personally believe that the rapture is going to be a bunch of mysterious accidents, kind of like the movie Final Destination. Death's going to come and people are going to die in mysterious accidents everywhere. Yeah, people are going to die in mysterious accidents everywhere, all over the place, and it's basically good people getting saved from what's going to happen next because something horrible is about to come, like a World War III, some sort of restarting of the world to make way for a new world, kind of like the way the dinosaurs restarted to make way for humans. But this time it's going to be different. The world's going to restart and revive again, and this time innocence is going to be revived, and whatever happens next, I'm not sure. And the CIA, I personally believe the CIA are going to take over in a new world order. There's going to be a new world order, and the CIA is basically watching us through all of our technology and all of our electronics and everything around us. And I believe the CIA is also an aspect of this. There's some that help the world move forward, and there's some that want to keep the world from moving forward. Kind of like caught between the war between good and evil like the aliens are. And it's like when Einstein spoke, like I was getting to earlier, he bewildered everybody, but I memorized everything he said, along with the most other brilliant minds in human history, and mixed them together in my old lyrics and rhymes. But that's what I believe. It's basically demons are a negative aspect of life. Specifically, angels are a good aspect of life, and the aliens and the CIA intervene randomly and take sides between the two. And we're getting to the point where it's going to come to a climax and we're going to destroy ourselves, and the world's going to be restarted and innocence is going to revive. Peter Perry, Betty Barbuster, the bears, better, yellow but the purple jay, red jam, black bread, spread a thick sequoia, yellow but the purple jay, red jam, black bread. Slicker tongue than Socrates, Dr. Seuss has nothing on me, spitting incoherent rhymes off the top of me.